All right, let's do it. Why should people buy stocks?
Well, people should buy stocks because it's one of the ways that and it's proven to beat inflation. Inflation grows by 2 to 3% every year. And stocks is just one of the ways where people can put their money to, and the benchmark is about 8%, and they use the S&P 500 index to measure that.
What is a stock?
A stock is just a share of a company, of a corporation that went public. Public, I mean that they had an initial public offering, and they were able to trade on the stock market. And you buy one share, and it represents a share of ownership.
If someone says to you that they're check to check, they don't think they can afford to invest in the stock market, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that maybe they could find a side hustle, like the notary, like become a notary business school. I would suggest that because when you're in the stock market, you need to have your money in there for a certain amount of time, preferably be 2 to 5 years before you can touch it. So if they live in check to check and they don't have an emergency fund, they're in jeopardy. That's bad for them because they have no emergency fund. And if they lose their job, then they can lose their house or rent, whatever. They'll be on the street.
How much do you need to start investing in the stock market?
Start investing. There's something called the $5 a day plan. We can invest $5 a day. That's 7 days a week. So I would say about $35 a week. And you can invest in ETF called the SPY, and which that yields about preferably around 8% yearly. So I would say about $35 a week, and monthly, how much? 35 times 4 weeks. That'd be how much every month.
What's an ETF? An ETF.
An exchange traded fund is like a mutual fund on steroids. It's a pool of stocks that the fund managers put together, so you don't put it together, so you don't have to worry about that. And they put it together, and it automatically diversifies you because it has different, like 7 to 10 different stocks in this exchange traded fund. And it's just like a mutual fund, but mutual fund doesn't trade on the stock market. Exchange traded fund does, and they did it so that way so the public small investors can diversify themselves by investing in it.
If you could only do one, options trading, day trading, or long-term buy and hold with dividend stocks, which one would you pick and why?
If I could only do one, that's a good one. I would do options that are long term.
Okay.
They are called LEAP options. Okay. LEAP. I don't know why they call it that. I could probably Google it, but the parameter that's a good one because the parameter for you to be a investor, they say you're supposed to hold your stocks for 2 to 5 years. Anything 1 year or less, they tell you to stay out of the stock market. That's the honest truth. Stay out of it because it's not a get rich quick scheme. But 2 to 5 years, that's enough time to see growth in your money because the stocks sometimes they don't catch on all the way. And I could give examples, but I won't go there. But yeah, some options go out to 3 years, and when I see a good company, that's what I like to buy right now. So it's like I'm long-term investing, but I get it for cheaper because I don't have to buy the stock outright. I just buy the rights to it by paying a premium. Sort of like buying a house with an FHA loan.
That's smart. What's the best stock you've ever bought, options or long term you ever bought, and what's the one that you're mad you didn't buy, or maybe that you sold?
Just recently, I sold one called Applied Digital, the ticker symbol APLD. I bought an option for it. It was a little bit out of the money. The stock was trading at $7 at the time, and I bought a $10 option, meaning I can purchase it for $10 a share, all the way to 2027. And I paid $364 for the right to do this, and I ended up selling it before time and made like 600% profit. I bought it July 9th, and I sold it like.
How much is that dollar-wise?
I'm sorry?
How much is that dollar-wise profit?
That was about 2,300 profit.
Damn.
22 to 2,300.
Okay. Now, what's one that you mad you didn't buy, or that you sold too early?
I sold too early NVIDIA, and I had a financial planner. He sold it. I didn't sell it, but he was covering a deficit in my account. I understand that, but I didn't ever want to sell that.
Hold on, NVIDIA, the AI company?
Yeah, I had it bought it in 2017. About 10 shares, I think I had. 10 shares for $125, 2017. It went all the way up to like 15,000, which is $1,500. That's without the options.
All right.
Yeah.
Whoa. So you're pissed, I imagine. Now, give me some numbers. So it cost you how much out of pocket, and how much would that be worth today?
So it cost me. So I bought 10 shares, but it was his record. I brought it to him. I didn't know it was. He recommended that. Yeah, you should buy some, and he bought it for me. So I would have bought small, 2 or 3 shares. He don't buy small. He like, no, you don't. I buy 10 shares. So $125 times 10 shares was about $1,250.
Okay.
And the stock gross went up to like $1,500 in 2021, but it was a pullback in like 2021 in February. It was a small bear market, but it was kind of brutal to me. And he was hedging my account. A win is a win.
So how much would you have made if you would have had that stock today?
40,000.
Damn.
That's without options.
That's just straight up buying home.
Straight up buying no options is more.
Is NVIDIA the best stock ever on paper?
It can arguably be. It can arguably be, yes. It's there's Apple, of course, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla. Tesla made the people a lot of money, especially a lady named Cathie Woods. And I like to follow her because she has a degree in economics. And when you're dealing with the stock market, you got to understand the landscape. Like economics plays a huge part in the way they affect your stocks. You need to know what's going on. Like when the pandemic, if somebody would have knew like the pandemic happened, companies can't make money in the pandemic. So, and remember that the only reason why you're buying this stock or a share of this company, slice of this company, is because they're making money, and you think they're gonna be making more money in the future, and you're trying to get in a little early before everybody else starts to catch on to it.
If you can only do one, stocks or real estate?
I do stocks all day.
Wow.
Because you're more liquid. I like real estate. I like the way Julian Gordon's doing his real estate. One of our friends, right? Mm-hmm. I like the way he's doing it because it's less risky. And when you master that, you got more control over real estate than the stock market. But let's be honest, the stock market has made people fortunes.
Yeah.
When you know what you're doing, and it takes less time to get into. So you could buy a stock today, as opposed to when you buy real estate, you have to wait for 2 months, 3 months, and that's fast. You gotta be on it. So like when I bought my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm with you. All right, Rashad. Thank you for the game. How can we get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me at, well, stock price. Well, my email is stockprice85@gmail.com. That's one way. And they can get a hold of me by coming to my school. I mean, my community. So that.
What's your website name?
First 10K. Oh, 1 second. I gotta look it up. Sorry about that. It's first 10K in the stock market.com, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pull it up just to make sure. Come on now. It's right there. First 10K in the stock market.com.
All right, Rashad. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So